Hi everyone. A couple people in the comments have asked me what tools I use and how long these take and such, so I thought I'd throw together a quick and dirty tutorial for how to make a song, but you're in the other room type video from the ground up. Important note, muffling audio does not get around copyright rules. So if you're uploading this to YouTube, make sure it is music that the copyright holder allows to be used on YouTube. All Has Been Hotel music that I've used so far has been allowed by the copyright system, but it does still show up as a copyright claim, but it's not a strike. So my account is not affected. The video just won't be able to be monetized, and I believe it does not count toward earning monetization. The videos themselves are generally pretty simple to make. My Loser Baby video took a bit longer than usual because I had to stitch together the background characters from like 5 different frames because Husk takes up so much of the screen. Then recreate part of the background by hand, and I am not a good artist, as you may be able to tell. As far as tools you'll need an audio editor. I use FL Studio, the free trial. It's totally free with an unlimited time and it has enough functionality to get the job done, but any editor with an equalizer function will work, so that should be just about any of them. An image editor. I use GIMP, GNU Image Manipulation Program. It is free and open source and I've been using it for years, so I'm familiar with it. Photoshop or any other image editor will also work. You'll also need a video editor. No surprise, it's a video. I use Adobe Premiere Pro, but really any video editor will work. It's pretty much just for putting the audio track with the image and or the video you'll use for the background. So I'm using the Loser Baby scene that I made as an example. It was the most complex one I've made. Most are quite simple. If you're looking to just edit a character out, typically, it might take 5 to 10 minutes. This one took me closer to half an hour because it's so much, and I had to recreate so much of it. Again, for this, I used GIMP because it's free and open source, and I don't like to pay for things when I don't have to. You start by grabbing as many frames as possible to have as much of the scene as you want to display shown. In this, I stitched together multiple frames using the free select tool, and I lined them up with each other as best I could. After stitching as much of the scene together as possible with the free select tool, filled in the blanks using the color grabber tool and either the pencil or paintbrush to create kind of a base color. Use the blur tool to kind of even out some like weird lines that might come out from the stitching, as well as kind of smudge the colors into the blanks. And then you'll see what I've just done is actually take little pieces of the barrel and use that to create more of the barrel that he's sitting on to fill in the blanks, since the whole barrel that he's sitting on wasn't available in the scene. Then take a frame from the video part that you'll want to use and then line it up with the image that you'll be using as the still part. And then we'll take the eraser tool and kind of cut out where the animated portion will be. Move the animated portion that you're going to use up to the top and then carefully erase around it, and that'll leave blank space in the still image so that the animated portion will be visible. I'm not going to put quite as much attention to detail in this image as I did as the one for the video because I've already made the other one. This is a recreation of what I did just as an example for this video. Then you can just hide and unhide the layer, make sure they line up nicely as nicely as you want, then go ahead and export it and then hold on to it until the video section. Now onto the audio section. You'll load an audio file into an audio editor. I use FL Studio free trial, as I mentioned at the beginning, but you can use any audio editor that has an equalizer function. The main thing you'll be looking out, since we are muffling it to imitate being on the other side of a wall, particularly thick walls, you'll want to cut out the high frequency tones, which will create that muffled effect. Typically, I will cut them off at about the 1K hertz range, but you can go up or down depending on the specific feel, and it depends on the song, how you want it to sound. But generally, right around there, plus or minus like 500 is about the range you'll want to be at, as you'll see here.
So things look bad and you're back against the wall. Your whole existence seems
Go ahead and play around with the different levels. Try to get that exact sound that you're going for.
you're a loser.
You'll want to pull down the midtones a little bit. That helps bring down the volume without actually lowering. It's not exactly lowering the volume, but it's lowering the level of all of the sounds. And something that might seem kind of counterintuitive since bass travels through walls better, is that if you don't reduce the bass, it does something weird with headphones. It makes the subwoofers in your headphones kind of flap when there's no sound. It was an issue that I noticed. I recommend removing a little bit of the bass, but not so much that you remove the sound of the song. Just kind of cut off those really, really low ends of it. Now on to the video section. There's not much to the video section. It's pretty much just add your audio track and your video file and or image to your project. If you're doing something more like my Loser Baby video, that's a combination of a still image plus a video loop. You'll see in the image section, we erased part of the still image so that it does not overlap with the part of video that I want to loop. If the video file that you're loading in is not a perfect loop, play the loop or copy and paste the loop so that you've got two copies of it, then reverse the second loop. Then copy and paste both the first and the second loop together so that it plays forward and then reverse and then back to forward. It'll create a much smoother loop than just repeating the same scene over and over again. You'll see, like in the other V's video, Val is not scrolling on his phone very evenly, but this trick will help you avoid that. Then just go ahead and copy and paste the nice loop that you've made all the way to the end of where your audio track ends, and you're pretty much done. Shout out to Fantune2423 for giving me this little tip. Something I didn't really think about before. I am just an amateur video editor. I'm not a professional. I'm just having fun with it. But it did make the bartender pouring the drink scene super smooth. I loved it. Very happy for that little tip that I got. And then just make sure when you do the copy and pasting, copy them in groups of two so that you are getting the forward loop and then the backward loop, and then they keep alternating that way. If you're doing something more like my other V's video where it cuts in and out between muffled audio and whoever's singing coming back into frame so that their singing sounds normal volume, normal sound again, you'll want to have both the original audio and the muffled audio that you've created and put them both into this project, and then you basically just uh, cut them where they are and delete the pieces that you don't need. I keep both tracks in the project while I'm working on it. I just mute the two sources and then I pull out where they need to go. And that's really it. You just cut and paste what you need, then delete what you don't, and you're good to go. I just highly recommend for these kinds of videos rendering at really high quality audio because the muffle sounds sound really, really weird if it's not in high quality audio. Thank you for watching and have fun making some dumb little videos.